How's it going, guys? Bibi here with another figure review. So today I'm reviewing the Master Stars prize figure of Freeza. So as you're probably all aware, I have already opened this figure. I have him sitting behind me all the time. So unfortunately I can't show you how he was packaged. But even still, I can show you how awesome he is and all the great details he has on him. So let's get to the review. So here's the bottom of the box. Flip it over, and obviously I've opened this before. There's the Toei sticker on the top as well, which is nice to see. Inside we see the little flaps. There's Freeza with the stand showing you how to put it underneath him. And then there's these QR codes. I'm not actually sure what they are. If you know, let me know in the comments below. There's a little serial number stamped there. So that's probably another good way to tell whether this is a fake figure or not. The front of the box has a lot of detail showing all the bits and pieces. The Master Stars have this very interesting thing that they do with their figures, saying the Freeza or the so-and-so, depending on which figure you're looking at, or the Gohan if you've got a Gohan figure. So it's a strange little quirk, but interesting nonetheless. Look at the full Freeza. He is very well detailed. He has a lot of very nice sculpting and very nice shadowing. He has translucent plastic on his head, shoulders and chest, as well as on his legs. Looking at how he is disassembled, as you see, his body is all in one piece, which is quite nice. The back is very nice. It's a shame that you don't get to see much of that. You can see all the different plastic pieces that they have on him. A lot of shading on his legs and on his chest and on his stomach actually. Here's Frieza's face. He's very menacing looking. He has this translucent plastic on his head. He even has a bit of shading on the undertones of his chin and on his face, and his eyes really pop out. Here's the tail. It's quite a long tail. Even though it's just a tail, it's very well detailed. It has a lot of sculpting and it kind of looks like a worm. And here's the little stand that you put underneath the tail, just to make sure that Freeza doesn't fall over. It's the same plastic as on Frieza's body. Frieza's very easy to put together. You just slip on his head like so. And then the tail slips on quite easily. One thing I'd like to mention is that the tail can fall off because the part that you slip into it isn't quite long enough, which is a bit of a shame. And there's the little stand, you just put it underneath his tail, just to make sure he's not going to topple. So here's the 360 view. I decided to pick this view of him because it shows off the way that he's standing the best. It shows off his stance, which can be kind of awkward at times. The other reason why I decided to pick this is the lighting really shows off a lot of his extra detail. Looking close up at his face, he has extra detail when you look up close. You can see all the extra shine that you get on the plastic that's on his shoulders and on his arm. Looking at his back and his tail, you can really see the detail when you're up close. Even the hands and the legs have a lot of shadowing and a lot of extra sculpt, which is quite surprising considering this is such a cheap figure. It only cost me around $40, so I'm quite happy with the way that this figure actually looks. They painted his toenails and his fingernails purple, which is a nice little touch considering they have that in the anime. So it's very true to form. Unfortunately, because I'm lighting him this way, you do lose a lot of the shading in his back. He looks quite flat from this angle. However, I feel that the sacrifice is worth it, because when you look at him from the front, he looks amazing. He looks so menacing and evil, like he's supposed to be a villain. So I've had this figure for quite a while now. It was one of my first prize figures, and I am in absolute love with him. The things that I really do love about this figure is how it has the shiny purple plastic on the top of his head and on his shoulders, just all over, and it has a translucent look to it. The shine really is reminiscent to the anime, and it makes it feel like that he's actually the character. The other things that I really love about him is the sculpt, how detailed he is in his muscles, and the paint job really emphasizes those muscles. They look so nice, even down to if you look at his legs and even on his arms, they are very well defined. On his neck and his collarbone has the same type of deal, and the shadowing on his face also makes everything else pop out, his eyes and his mouth. It's all very well made, especially for something that's meant to be very cheap and very easy to buy, especially for people that are just starting out. If you look at the back, you'll also see that there's a lot of definition and a lot of well sculpting. It's very shadowed and it looks amazing. The downside about him being so detailed in the back is that you don't really get to see it, because everyone will always have him facing the front. Unless you're really in love with the back, then you can have him facing away, but most people will have it facing this way. The downsides of this figure is the tail and its joints. I feel that this part in here is not long enough. It falls off all the time. I am a bit disappointed about that. It's very heavy as well, so he can get unbalanced very easily. He does come with a little stand to put under his tail, so you sit it like that. So if I put him down, as you see, he doesn't stand very well. He's always falling over. So putting the stand just under his tail there, now he's nice and secure. Even bumping it, he won't fall over. So that's a plus but a con as well. So talking about the tail, it's another plus I suppose, is that even the tail is very well defined. It has a lot of shadowing. It kind of makes it feel like that he is meant to be sleek but slightly scaly at the same time. It actually reminds me of a bit of a worm. So that was something that I noticed about him. With it being a prize figure, the other things that are easy to kind of point out if you look at him closely is that he has a seam line on his leg. Now, I didn't realise this until only a few hours ago actually, so it's not overly noticeable, especially if you're just looking at him from the front. But when you start looking around, you do get to see that seam line that goes all the way around to his butt. So that's a bit of a shame. But again, it's a figure that is quite nice to look at from afar, even up close. But when you do look up close, you do see a few little flaws. I also love how they've painted his nails purple, so it goes with the whole theme of the purple and the white. If he didn't have all this shading, he would be washed out. He wouldn't be as nice as what he actually is. He is a Master Stars figure, and I feel that this is one of the nicest Master Stars figure that I've seen. They do make a lot of really nice figures though, so I highly suggest that anyone that wants to get into collecting figures, check out this figure here, because even if you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan, for the price that they charge, it's actually well worth it. For a little bit more context, this figure is about the same price as 2 pop vinyl figures, so it's pretty cheap. The last thing that I want to mention about this figure is that his stance isn't the nicest stance that they could have picked. I feel that if they picked his iconic pointing pose where he's going to be blowing up everything, would have been a lot nicer. This stance is okay and it does show off everything when it comes to the front, but it's not the nicest, and that's just a bit of a nitpick here. It's not really a con as such. So that was my figure review on the Master Stars Freeza. Let me know in the comments below if you own any of the Master Stars collections, and let me know if you have this figure in general. What do you like about it? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big like and share it out to all your friends. I'd really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please go have a look at the rest of my channel. I do anime recommendations, anime news twice a week, and I've got plenty of other anime content on there, so I'm sure you'll find something interesting to watch. If you want to chat to me, I'm on social media. I've got a Twitter and a Facebook, and I'm online constantly, especially on Twitter, so please make sure to like me and follow me on there. And if you want to see more from me and more content like this, then please make sure to subscribe for a wide range of anime content. From Moe to Mika, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!